Greetings, travellers. I bid thee welcome. Welcome back to Castle Gildar, your home for goblins, ghouls, and ghosts, where for a night a week, when the clock strikes and the witching hour commences, we gather by the fireplace of our great hall and tell stories often stranger than fiction, of urban myths, legends that refuse to die, and castles. Oh yes, lots of castles. I am the gatekeeper. I shall be your guide this evening. So gather round the fire, friends. Pull your blankets a little tighter. The wind's picking up out there, whispering through the trees like it's got secrets it shouldn't share. For tonight, Castle Gildar presents the tale of the Forbidden Heart of Samlesbury's Maiden. The night drapes over us like a funeral pall tonight, doesn't it? Shadows creep from ancient oaks, twisting like tormented souls. And that wind, listen to it sigh through the valley of Lancashire's, carrying the faint toll of distant bells from Preston's spires, mingled with cries that no living throat could utter. Tug your blankets nearer, nearer yet. The damp chill here rises from the river Ribble's banks, seeping into bones like. This isn't fanciful whisper for the faint-hearted. It is the sorrow-drenched saga of Lady Dorothy Southworth and the cursed stones of Samlesbury Hall. Unearthed from the dusty chronicles of Southworth family, the grim testimonies of 19th century ghost hunters, and the folklore that still hushes voices in Preston pubs when the moon wanes thin. It all roots deep in the black and white timbers of Samlesbury Hall, that brooding manor squatted between Preston and Blackpool, but burned since 1325, when Gilbert de Southworth raised its walls from Lancashire clay. Historical deeds in the Domesday Book echoes, and family archives paint the Southworths as fierce lords, knights, sheriffs, devout Catholics clinging to their faith amid Tudor storms of Reformation. By Elizabethan twilight of the late 1500s, the hall was a fortress of popish secrets. Priest holes carved into chimneys, hidden chapels where forbidden masses whispered defiance against Protestant queens. John Southworth, Dorothy's father, was a vehement recusant, fined and hounded for his beliefs, his halls echoing with Latin prayers and the clink of concealed relics. In this shadowed world was born Lady Dorothy Southworth, fair-haired, spirited, with eyes like storm-tossed seas. Folklore cloaks her in tragedy from the start, a maiden of noble blood, her heart ensnared by a forbidden flame. He was a young knight from a neighbouring estate. Some accounts name him Sir John de Houghton, a Protestant whose family bore an ancient Houghton tower. Their love bloomed in the secret trysts by the moat's murky waters, under moonlight arches where owls hoot warnings. But religion claved them like a blade. Her kin, starch papists, saw his faith as heresy, her Catholicism, as damnation. No union could bridge that bloody schism, forged in the fires of Mary's burnings and Elizabeth's spies. Desperation bred daring, They plotted elopement, a midnight flight to wed in some distant chapel far from prying eyes. Whispers in the hall long gallery carried the plan to Dorothy's brothers, fierce guardians of family honour. On that fateful eve, as fog coiled thick around the grounds like spectral chains, the lover approached with two trusted comrades, hearts pounded under cloaks. But the ambush waited in the gloom. Dorothy's siblings sprang from the shadows, swords flashing cold in the starlight. Steel met flesh in a frenzy's grunts and cries. The first knight fell. Throat slashed, blood soaking the earth, his friends following, hacked down mercifully in a fury. The bodies were dragged to unhallowed ground. Some tales say buried under the chapel's floor, others hidden in the moat's stilly depths, where bubbles still rise like escaping souls. Dorothy, waiting in her chamber, heard the screams pierce the night. She rushed to the window, only to witness the horror. Her beloved's lifeless form hauled away like refuge. Her wail shattered the silence, a sound that folklore claims still echoes the windless nights. Broken in spirit, she bundled off by her family to a foreign convent, perhaps France or Spain, where Catholic sisters might mend her shattered faith. But grief consumed her. Accounts from 1873's ghostly chronicles describe how she descended into madness, pacing cloisterless halls, clawing at walls, murmuring his name until her heart gave out. She died young, alone, her final breath a curse upon the hall that betrayed her love. Yet the grave couldn't hold her. No. It spat her back as the White Lady, Salisbury's most famous or infamous wraith. Since the 1600s, sightings have piked like autumn leaves. The first published in Reverend Williams Harrison's 1873 tomb, detailing apparitions that chilled Victorian spines. She glides through the long gallery, luminous figure in a long flowing gown, her face masked with eternal sorrow, hands outstretched as if grasping for a phantom embrace. Bus drivers on the A59 swear she appears by the roadside, a pale hitchhiker vanishing into the mist when the doors hiss open. In priest holes, in those cramped voids where Jesuits once hid, cold fingers brush necks, and whispers plead, "Where is he?" The chapel site of the murders reek with the sudden iron tang, like fresh spilt blood, and footsteps pace in the aisles where no one tread. Folklore weaves darkened threads. On All Souls' Eve, when the veil frays the rooms of the ground of her slain lover's shade, though he never crosses the threshold, bound to the moat where his corpse rotted. Guests at the hall, now a museum and wedding venue, flee weddings mid-vow, claiming icy breaths on their napes or veils tugged by unseen hands. Paranormal logs from modern ghost hunts capture EVPs sobbing, "John, John." Orbs dancing in the attic's ghost room, opened in 2023 after a century sealed. And the brothers, their guilt festers too. Shadow figures lurk in corners, swords dripping spectral gore, driving the unwary to madness. The hall stands defiant, its black timbers creaking under 7 centuries' weight. But Dorothy's agony lingers like a damp in the stones. Historical trials link the Southworths to the 1612 Salisbury's witches. 3 women accused by a child, acquitted in rare mercy. But Dorothy's tale is purer heartbreak, tarnished by spells, yet cursed all the same. So as our fire dwindles into ashen glow, embers pulsing like fading heartbeats, ponder this from Lancashire's haunted heart. Lady Dorothy confessed no sins, wrought no malice, yet love's ruin bound her forever. History deems it tragedy, folklore calls it vengeance unbound. Preston's mists, when the rivers murmur and the halls loom silent. What if her gaze falls on you? Feel that whisper, soft touch on your shoulder, that ache in your chest like love lost. May not be the breeze. Is she here now? Searching, yearning, never resting, never wanting to be alone. Sleep well now, traveller, but take heed, for our Queen is always watching, waiting, and always in need for another lost soul to join our horde.